Can you really eat healthy with just 2 hours of cooking per week? Hey there, let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like eating healthy is just impossible? Because you're slammed with work, family, errands, and everything else life throws your way? You're not alone. So many of us believe that to eat well, we have to spend hours every single day in the kitchen, chopping, stirring, and cooking. But what if I told you that you could actually nourish your body with just 2 hours of cooking per week? Sounds like a myth, right? But it's not. Imagine Sarah. She's a full-time working mom, juggling a demanding job and taking care of her kids and household. Every evening, she would come home exhausted, staring at the clock, and wondering how she could possibly prepare a healthy meal. More often than not, she gave in to the temptation of fast food or takeout, feeling guilty afterward. It was a cycle she thought she'd never break, until one day she discovered meal prepping. Sarah decided to dedicate just 2 focused hours on Sunday afternoons to prepare meals for the entire week. She cooked in batches, stored everything in containers, and suddenly, the daily stress of cooking vanished. Instead of scrambling every night, she just grabbed a pre-made meal, heated it up, and enjoyed something nutritious without the fuss. That simple change made eating healthy, manageable, and even enjoyable. So here's the truth. The idea that you have to spend endless hours cooking every day is a myth. With smart planning, a little organization, and the right approach, you can feed your body well with minimal weekly cooking time. Now let's break it down and explore why meal prepping is such a game changer, especially for busy lifestyles like yours. Why do so many people struggle to eat healthy? Every day, let's get real for a moment. Why do so many of us find it so hard to stick to healthy eating habits day after day? If you're honest with yourself, you might recognize some of these challenges. Time is often the biggest culprit. Between work, family, social commitments, and trying to get a little rest, there just doesn't seem to be enough hours in the day to prepare wholesome meals from scratch. Then there's decision fatigue. Ever noticed how by the time you get home, the last thing you want to do is agonize over what to cook? You've already made countless decisions throughout the day. What to wear, how to respond to emails, meetings to attend, and now the brain's just too tired to think. So it's way easier to default to ordering pizza or grabbing something quick and processed. And let's not forget the lack of planning. Without a clear roadmap, healthy eating feels overwhelming. You might find yourself wandering the grocery aisles, unsure what to buy, or staring into the fridge, wondering what can be turned into dinner. This uncertainty often leads to unhealthy habits, skipping meals, snacking on junk, or relying on takeout. Take Mike, for example. He's an office worker who often skips breakfast because he's rushing out the door. Mid-morning, he grabs whatever snack is handy, usually something sugary or processed. Lunch is a quick sandwich or sometimes nothing at all because meetings pile up. By dinner, he's exhausted and hungry, so he orders takeout. This cycle repeats every day, making it impossible for Mike to maintain a balanced diet or feel energized. When you don't have a plan, healthy eating feels like climbing a mountain without gear. It's overwhelming, exhausting, and hard to sustain. But here's the good news. Understanding these barriers is the first step toward overcoming them. What if I told you there's a simple strategy that tackles all these problems at once? Let's uncover it next. What is meal prep and how does it simplify your week? So what exactly is meal prepping? At its core, meal prep is about cooking your meals in bulk during a dedicated time frame, usually once a week, and then storing them so they're ready to eat when you need them. It's like setting yourself up to win your food battles before the week even starts. Remember Sarah from earlier. She learned to batch cook staples like grains, proteins, and vegetables on Sunday afternoons. She roasted chicken breasts, cooked quinoa, and steamed a variety of veggies, then portioned everything into containers for the week. When it came time to eat, she simply mixed and matched these components, adding sauces or spices to keep things interesting. This method saves time because you're not cooking from scratch every single day. It reduces stress because you don't have to make last-minute decisions about what to eat. And it improves nutrition because you control the ingredients and portions. Instead of being at the mercy of whatever fast food is nearby, you have wholesome meals ready to go. Meal prepping transforms cooking from a daily chore into a simple assembly process. Instead of thinking, "What should I cook tonight?" you just grab a prepared meal, heat it up, and enjoy. It makes healthy eating accessible, convenient, and sustainable, even if you're juggling a busy lifestyle. But before you start chopping and cooking, there's a crucial step: planning. You need to know what to cook, how to shop smartly, and how to organize your time so you can fit it all into a 2-hour session without feeling overwhelmed. Let's dive into how to plan your cooking like a pro. How to plan your 2-hour cooking session. Like a pro, planning might sound boring, but trust me, it's the secret weapon that turns meal prepping from a frustrating chore into a smooth, enjoyable routine. The key is to be strategic about your recipe choices, your grocery shopping, and how you organize your cooking. Mike decided to give meal prepping a shot, and here's what he did. He started by picking 3 simple recipes that shared some ingredients: roasted chicken, quinoa salad, and steamed vegetables. This overlap meant fewer ingredients to buy and prepare, which saved him time. He wrote a detailed shopping list before heading to the store, so he didn't wander aimlessly or forget anything important. Once home, Mike prepped everything before he started cooking. He washed and chopped all the veggies, seasoned the chicken, and measured out his grains. Having everything ready to go made the cooking process flow smoothly. He roasted the chicken and veggies in the oven simultaneously while cooking the quinoa on the stove. In less than 2 hours, he had enough food portioned out for 5 days. Proper planning eliminates wasted time and keeps you on track. It also ensures that your meals are balanced and varied enough so you're not eating the same thing every day. Think about it this way. If you went grocery shopping with no list and no plan, you'd probably end up with random items that don't work well together. But when you plan, everything fits like puzzle pieces. So what meals should you actually prepare to keep things healthy and interesting? That's what we'll explore next. What are the best foods to meal prep for health and longevity? Choosing the right foods to meal prep is just as important as the cooking itself. You want ingredients that are nutrient-dense, store well, and maintain their flavor and texture after reheating. This means focusing on quality proteins, colorful vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats. Sarah found that roasted sweet potatoes, grilled chicken breasts, sautéed spinach, and brown rice were perfect for her week of meals. These foods stored well in the fridge and tasted great even after a few days. She also included nuts and avocado to add healthy fats, which helped keep her feeling full and energized throughout the day. Proteins like chicken, turkey, fish, tofu, and beans are excellent because they provide the building blocks your body needs to repair and grow. Vegetables offer vitamins, minerals, and fiber that support digestion and immune function. Whole grains like quinoa, brown rice, or barley give you sustained energy. And healthy fats from sources like nuts, seeds, and avocados help with brain function and hormone balance. What if you picked ingredients that didn't hold up well? Imagine cooking a big batch of leafy greens that turn slimy by midweek, or fish that dries out in the fridge. That's why it's important to select foods known for their longevity and flavor retention. By choosing the right foods, meal prepping becomes not just a necessity, but something you look forward to. But how do you keep your meals exciting so you don't get bored? Let's find out. How to keep your meal prep exciting and prevent burnout. One of the most common complaints about meal prep is boredom. Eating the same chicken and rice every day can drain your enthusiasm and lead you back to unhealthy habits. But there's a way around this: variety and creativity. Mike, once frustrated with repetitive meals, started experimenting. He tried different spices, sauces, and herbs to jazz up his dishes. One week, he seasoned his chicken with a smoky paprika rub, the next with garlic and lemon. He swapped out quinoa for brown rice or barley and rotated his vegetables, sometimes broccoli, other times sautéed kale or roasted carrots. This little bit of experimentation made a huge difference. Suddenly, his meals were interesting and flavorful, not dull and monotonous. Adding variety doesn't mean cooking entirely new meals every week. It can be as simple as changing seasonings or mixing different components. Think about it. Would you stick with a diet that feels like punishment? Probably not. But if your meals are delicious and varied, you're much more likely to stay consistent and enjoy the process. So once you've cooked your meals, how do you store and reheat them to keep everything fresh and tasty? Let's explore that next. Best practices for storing and reheating. Your meal preps, proper storage and reheating are often overlooked, but crucial to making meal prep work long term. If you store food incorrectly or reheat it poorly, you risk losing nutrients, flavor, and texture, which can make your meals less enjoyable. Sarah learned that airtight containers were a game changer. She invested in good quality glass or BPA-free plastic containers with tight lids that sealed in freshness. Labeling each container with the date helped her keep track and avoid eating anything past its prime. When it came to reheating, she avoided blasting food in the microwave on high power, which can dry out meals or create uneven heating. Instead, she used medium power and added a splash of water or broth to keep things moist. For some dishes, she reheated them gently on the stove, which preserved texture better. Food safety is also important. Cooked meals should be cooled to room temperature before refrigerating and eaten within 3 to 5 days. If you're prepping for longer, freezing portions is a great option, but be mindful of how certain foods freeze and thaw. Taking these extra steps might sound tedious, but once they become routine, they ensure your meals stay fresh, tasty, and nutritious, giving you yet another reason to stick with meal prepping. Now that you have the full picture, let's wrap up and look ahead. Conclusion: your 2-hour weekly cooking can transform your health. Let's take a moment to reflect. We started by acknowledging how challenging it can be to eat healthy with a busy schedule. We met Sarah and Mike, who both struggled but found a solution in meal prepping. We talked about the barriers, time, decision fatigue, lack of planning, that make healthy eating feel impossible. Then, we uncovered how meal prepping simplifies your week by batch cooking, saving time, and reducing stress. We dove into how to plan your cooking session like a pro, picking recipes that share ingredients, and organizing your tasks to fit into just 2 hours. We explored the best foods to prep, nutrient-dense, flavorful, and easy to store, and how to keep your meals exciting with spices, swaps, and variety. Finally, we covered how to store and reheat your meals to preserve freshness and flavor. Sarah and Mike started just where you are now. With a little strategy and commitment, they transformed their relationship with food and health. You don't need to spend hours every day cooking to eat well. A focused 2-hour cooking session each week can set you up for success and support your well-being all week long. So what do you think? Are you ready to give meal prepping a try and reclaim your time while nourishing your body? If you found this helpful, be sure to watch our next video where we dive into quick and healthy snack ideas to complement your meal prep routine. Thanks for joining me today. Here's to your health and a stress-free cooking journey.